Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So we have a deep dive today, okay? This is actually the first time I'll be doing, this is probably the longer, actually, yeah, this is the longest video I have done. I wonder if it's gonna be like an hour, over an hour, because the case is about 46 minutes. We're reacting to it. So I'm curious about all the evidence they're gonna find, if they're gonna say if he's guilty or not, even if it's the uncle. So by the way, this is a case about a pregnancy who vanished after her uncle picked her up. This was in Florida in 2018. I saw this on my feed and I was like, oh my God, I'm a true crime lover, okay? But I'm curious, and we're gonna be reacting to this whole thing. I'm gonna give my thoughts throughout, and I'm gonna give it at the end. But since it's a longer video, I'm definitely gonna be talking through the video. That's just what it is. But I will be respectful, and I will pause the video and not talk through it, okay? So let's get into this reaction. I'm so excited because, like I said, I love true crime. I want to do longer cases. It's just the editing, but I'm like, you know what? If y'all like it, I'll start doing it more often, okay? So let's get into this reaction.
On Crime.
Miss Sawyer, she just disappeared in thin air. It was mass chaos.
Oh, they got
Florida
footage and
high school
everything.
honor student full of promise goes missing.
I'm not a monster. I had nothing to do with her disappearance.
A trail of love and betrayal threatens to tear a tight-knit family apart.
Do I think my husband is capable of any of this? No, I don't. You know, but we have a missing piece of the puzzle. Oh, this is about to be good. Do I need to turn it up, y'all? I don't want the echo to be too loud.
Hey there, everybody. I'm Jesse Weber, and welcome to Prime Crime. This is where we break down the most compelling and memorable true crime cases from across the country. When a 16-year-old girl named Ayanna Sawyer suddenly vanishes, her family and police chase down every possible lead. This is a very twisted story that proves quite difficult for authorities to crack.
Jacksonville 911, what's the location of your emergency?
Do I come on to Florida? So phone is going straight to North America. It's not like that. You have no idea what you.
December 19th, 2018. Started out a normal day. IS was a 16-year-old high school student, a sophomore, straight A student at Terry Parker High School here in Jacksonville, Florida. She also went to school with her sister, SS, who was a year younger in her 9th grade year.
Because Ayanna Sawyer and her sister are minors, investigators sometimes refer to them by their initials, IS and SS, to protect their identities.
Her sister was on a bus and she wasn't. I don't understand why she wasn't on a bus.
Did you ask your sister why?
She said she didn't know, and that's not like the look you guys get together.
When SS calls her mother frantically, stating that IS did not get on the bus, Kimberly Mobley was at work.
You know what's interesting is that a lot of people might at first, is this, y'all, I swear the glare, but I be one, y'all, I ain't do my brows, that's why I had the glasses on. But a lot of people might think, why would she call the cops, right, like so quick after her, like, not being on the bus? Because normally you would think, okay, she probably missed the bus, she's probably with friends, but you know, they always say trust the mother's intuition, and you know, that's good that she called the cops just in case, because you never know what can happen. We never know. Safety is, I would rather call the cops than rather not know, you know what I mean? But yeah, I feel like a lot of people will probably say, why would you call the cops and not just wait? But you never know. It could be anything like this.
So she called two of her sisters. One of the sisters called 911, while the other one headed to Terry Parker High School.
Do you think it's foul play?
Ma'am, I have no idea. This is out of character for her. And for me to call you wrong, something's wrong.
Her family went crazy. They called 911, they called everyone. It was mass chaos because she just disappeared in thin air.
So IS, she was the firstborn. She was extremely close to her mom. She was extremely loyal. She loved being with her family. She wanted to be either a doctor or a lawyer. She was into her scholastics, being a straight A student. However, sadly, at the age of 16, she was carrying a big secret. And that secret was she was pregnant.
Ayanna is 5 months pregnant. Though she only recently told her mom, the family supports her, and they've even named her unborn baby Hazel Michelle. All they want is to find Ayanna safe and sound.
IS did not attend her last 2 periods of school. Video surveillance showed that she did in fact leave Terry Parker High School at approximately 11 a.m. And we don't know who picked her up because that was outside of camera footage at the time. She has 2 bags. One is full of course, regular school items such as textbooks, notebooks. And then another bag has a voluminous amount of Victoria's Secret items, a body pillow. The family is left questioning, where is IS?
The consensus between police is that she has left school voluntarily. There was no...
I'm gonna give my theory real quick, okay, with that, just with what they gave her, just with the first part, okay, because I'm ready to see where the uncle come in at that, and I wonder if that was her or him picking her up, okay. The bags and stuff already tell you that she's going to meet somebody, or maybe it's a gift, or maybe she's going to wear it for somebody, okay. And you can also immediately think the boyfriend, whoever, if she had a boyfriend, whoever got her pregnant, that I'm pretty sure that's a suspect. Yeah, I guess you would say she left intentionally because of what they got right now. But what I'm thinking she went to go meet somebody or she was going to meet somebody. Y'all know it's not, what was I about to say, y'all? It's not, you see a lot of cases like that with girls who going to meet guys. They'll skip school. I've seen a lot of cases, y'all, like that too.
obvious signs of being forced or anything like that.
Our theory of the case is she either ran away and didn't want to be found, or she ran away because her mom wanted to know who the father of the child was. She didn't want to tell, and that led to friction between the two.
The police, they were just trying to do what they could to find her. They did some basic search around the area. They set up the tip line. The family was doing quite a bit. They were looking for anything.
After 2 days of searching, with no sign of Ayanna, police change her status from a runaway to a missing person. Then, her mom makes a disturbing discovery.
Her mom was searching through, her room, through her laptop, through her boxes in her closet, anything she could to determine where she may be. She finds this Word document on Ayanna's laptop that kind of seems strange.
How do you get to it? Tell me how do you get to it.
I went there in the recycle bin right here.
The recycle bin?
And then she also got other notes over here on the side. They asked you for a password. She got some of the notes locked. And she got other stuff that she wrote in here about him too, though.
The fact that Ayanna went to such great lengths to keep the documents a secret is as concerning as what she'd written.
It was a couple pages long, and it was a pouring out her heart of this person, Jose, her love for this person, the betrayal of this person.
Ayanna's mom has never heard her talk about Jose. Could it be a code name for someone? Could she have run away with this person? The diary entries are dated February and March 2018, almost a year before Ayanna disappeared. Around that time, Ayanna was in a relationship her mom didn't approve of with an adult neighbor when Ayanna was just 15.
There was a next door neighbor who lived across the street from Ayanna. He had had a sexual relationship with Ayanna, and his name was Kamar Humphrey. I mean, the person that was accused of sexually assaulting her, 9 months earlier, is very much someone who I would be looking into very deeply when she goes missing.
Authorities have legitimate cause for concern about Humphrey. In March 2018, at Ayanna's mom's insistence, they'd obtained a DNA swab from him for a rape kit. He admitted to having sex with Ayanna at least once, and the DNA confirmed it.
Under Florida law, he was listed as a sexual offender because he was over the age of 18 and she was under the age of 16.
The time period that the rape kit was done, that we can confirm there was a sexual relationship, is outside of the time period that she would have conceived. But we have always asked, did that relationship continue on? And we know it went on for months just based on the conversations that she had with friends. He's a viable suspect for the father of her child.
Police ask Humphrey where he was the day Ayanna went missing. When he shows proof he was out of town, investigators have to rule him out. But if he's not Jose, who is? That's when a new name comes into the mix. Jonathan Quilez.
She confronts Ayana's sister, and Ayana's sister's the one who says, oh, that's Jose is Uncle John. So Ayana was John's niece by marriage. He was Uncle John to Ayana and to the other siblings as well. They were very close. His wife and him both took care of the kids on a regular basis. They would spend time at their house. John, really charismatic guy. He's very likable. He was a mechanic. He was a handyman. He had a good family life, was working, doing well, married, had a kid, another one on the way at the time.
The whole family.
Ayana's mom knows the two are very close, but if Uncle John, aka Jonathan Quilez, is the Jose in Ayana's diary, did things go too far? Her mom is determined to get to the bottom of whatever is going on.
Okay, y'all, let me go back for a second, okay, because I think I missed something. Hold on.
That's when a new name comes into the mix. Jonathan Quilez.
She confronts Ayana's sister, and Ayana's sister's the one who says, oh, that's Jose is Uncle John. So Ayana was John's niece by marriage. He was
Okay,
Uncle John
they're not
to
blood.
Ayana
Okay.
And to the other siblings
That's what
as
I was
well.
wondering.
They were very close. His wife and him both took care of the kids on a regular
Okay.
basis. They would spend time at their house. John, really charismatic guy. He's very likable. He was a mechanic. He was a handyman. He had a good family life, was working, doing well, married, had a kid, another one on the way at the time.
Ayana's mom knows the two are very close, but if Uncle John, aka Jonathan Quilez, is the Jose in Ayana's diary, did things go too far?
Okay, let me kind of get my, new person in the mix. Uncle John? Ugh, that's so weird. I don't know. I always think it's weird. You see a lot of cases with, like, uncles that's not part of the family. They're, like, by marriage. Them the ones you gotta look at. Because there are a lot of cases with, it's like sexual stuff going on with other members in the family, and they're not blood, so stuff happens and it's creepy. But if this happens, it's illegal. Obviously, she's underaged. He's married. There's so many questions in my head right now because he is a handsome man, and that shouldn't mean anything because you're not looking at them like that. But who knows who she was writing to? And it's really interesting that she wrote on a computer about her feelings, unless she was going to send that to him. It sounded like she was going to send that to him by email or something, and message him, because normally, a diary entry you would write in a book. So I'm really interested about that. Like, why would she write that on a computer? Let's see. Let's continue this really weird, dark case. And is he the father of the baby? Who's the father?
Bottom of whatever is going on. She calls police, and they head over to his house.
Hey, John, what's going on?
This is crazy. All this just got dropped on me. Like, both of us. I was just trying to get a damn guy to sign a lease over there, and I'm coming back. I see patrol cars in my dang house.
He arrived, we're there. He was calm, cool, and collected. I'm here to help.
We literally had their kids, her kids, for summers. Summer at a time, and then, weekends. All of them. If we knew where she was at, we would have been the first ones to grab her ass and bring her over. Yeah, exactly.
We're posting stuff on our Facebook trying to find her the same way they are.
He did not know anything. He didn't have any involvement. Even his wife, was defending him and that he would never do anything to harm IS.
So I'm gonna tell you, with regards to this here, do I think my husband is capable of any of this? No, I don't. But I don't. We have a missing piece of the puzzle.
Police tell the couple they have a warrant to search the house.
You got free reign.
I'll hang out here, let go in and look.
Okay, that's cool.
And then we'll go from there. You guys hang tight for him?
Yeah, it's not a problem.
Naomi and John say, hey, search our house, do what you need to do, look through, because, she's not here. We have nothing to do with it.
You got all the rooms? Yeah. Okay, so the backyard? Yeah, let's look at the back.
Even one of the officers found it kind of funny because Jonathan's sitting there. He's like, hey, come on in, whatever you guys need. You want something to eat? You want something to drink?
And let me tell you something. That's how you know sometimes stuff be wrong, because they do that so they can come off as innocent. So they wouldn't look. I feel like if somebody do that, they wouldn't really look everywhere. They're it's like you're thinking, why they're so friendly? Oh, nothing's going on here. These are really nice people. It's to throw them off. You never know. If people do that to throw them off.
Oh, and he's inviting him in like he's one of the family.
But Quilez and his wife do admit that Ayana's mom voiced her concerns about Quilez's contact with her daughter since she found the document on her laptop.
Once that all happened, we got blocked completely from having any communication.
But then the girl said, well, we can't speak with you now because we blocked. Mama said to block you, so we gotta wait until this passes over. So, I mean, the same, but it's not like, it's not uncommon.
Yeah, this has happened before, and then they come and they'll tell you, weekends over here at the house.
It seems like the relationship was a little more complicated than anyone initially thought.
Oh, God.
Then, the couple makes another statement that seems to catch officers by surprise.
So while talking about, well, do you know any items that are missing of IS's? Well, the wife had stated when she left, she took a lot of her Victoria's Secret undergarments.
Jonathan Quilez is even more specific.
Oh yeah, her 38 pair, indicating that she had taken 38 pairs of Victoria's Secret undergarments with her. How someone in a family relationship would know that is obviously very odd.
As cooperative as Quilez.
That's hard. Yep. Red flag number 20 we're at right now. How would, not only why would he know that, but like how would he know like the specific, and the fact that you're not even like, they're too close. Okay, I'm already gonna say it's him. I wonder if they're gonna do a full twist and it's not him, but he know too much. They have, what kind of relationship is that? I'm not talking to my uncles by marriage, about anything, and even by blood I wouldn't talk about. I wouldn't talk about any dude in my family, like stuff like that. No. Nobody needs to know your undergarments unless they're doing stuff, and not by blood, not by marriage. I'm talking about any man, unless you're married to that man. But yeah, their relationship is weird.
Officers sense something is off.
She said that she knows who the father was, but she ain't saying.
Oh, she didn't know?
Yeah, she knows who the father of her child was. So she just, but then you can't really take anything that she's saying serious, because now that she's been gone, I question literally everything.
Police there wanting to talk to John about, have you had a sexual relationship with Ayana? And so it's just, they were investigating him, at least trying to find out.
When we return, police decide to bring Jonathan Quilez in for more questioning.
They're making some allegations, and we gotta, do a thorough investigation, okay? So we're gonna have to take you to get interviewed by a detective, okay? And just tell them your side, and that's it, all right?
They always mess up in the interviews, so I'm curious what's about to happen. Yeah, I'm over here writing notes.
When Quilez was brought in for questioning, he acted like you would expect. He denied everything, said he...
Also, let me get my theory real quick. Okay, I got another theory. I got a feeling that he's the father. That's all it is. I got a feeling he's the baby father. Okay, I'm really curious, because that's all I'm gonna say. Okay, I got a feeling he's the father.
Didn't know anything, and he lamented the fact that his niece was
missing.
missing.
He is handsome. I'll give him that.
December 27th, 2018. About a week after 16-year-old Ayana Sawyer, or IS, disappeared. It's especially concerning because she's pregnant. Police have brought in her uncle, Jonathan Quilez, for an interview. They press him about the diary his niece wrote that indicates the two had sexual relations. He denies any inappropriate contact and has even provided his DNA to police.
You guys took my DNA at the house. I don't have nothing to hide. You are looking at the wrong person. I have nothing to do with that girl disappearing whatsoever.
They don't arrest him that day. They detain him, they talk to him, but then they release him.
However, Quilez has raised enough suspicions that a few days later, police turn the investigation over to homicide detective Abbott, who immediately processes the DNA Quilez provided.
It was submitted to the Florida Department of Law Enforcement here, and a rush was put onto it, because what we had learned was that a sexual assault kit involving IS had been submitted back in March of 2018. And there was unknown DNA.
The results showed DNA from neighbor Kamar Humphrey, which was expected since he and Ayanna had had a relationship. But the unknown DNA was additional. Could it be her Uncle John's?
Well, on January 7th, 2019, a shock came. Jonathan Quilles' DNA was on IS's panties. Complete, utter shock. It only heightened that Jonathan Quilles was definitely a person of interest. Then a bombshell hit. A phone call comes in to the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office. That individual identified himself as Joseph Quilles, Jonathan Quilles' brother. And oh boy, did he have a story to tell.
Wait, go back. Wait, what?
Identified himself. Complete, utter shock. It only heightened that Jonathan Quilles was definitely a person of interest. Then a bombshell hit. A phone call comes in to the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office. That individual identified himself as Joseph Quilles, Jonathan Quilles' brother. And oh boy, did he have a story to tell. Jonathan Quilles had called his brother. He stated it was either December 19th, 2018 or December 20th, 2018, that his brother was frantic, stating that this girl might be pregnant, it might be mine, and I have to get rid of the body. Joseph Quilles then stated his brother hung up the phone. However, sometime later he called back, calmer, not upset, not nervous. Said he had taken care of it.
When Joseph asked,
Whoa. Okay, dang, she just like bomb rushed me with like all this information. Oh my god, I'm over here taking notes like, what the heck? Oh my god, okay. Yeah, that's his, I already know, I feel like that's his child, So they found DNA on her underwear, so they had sexual relations, okay. 100%, I'm pretty sure that because the note is about him. And you know what's interesting? How he he said that girl. When you look deep into that, why is he talking about his niece that he has like really good relations with, you know, what the family's thinking, that they have a really good normal relationship, that he wouldn't say her name? That's a red flag too. Oh my God. And then he called the brother Joseph Quilles, because this is John Quilles, he's Joseph Quilles. And he called his brother, and you know what? It's really interesting that he called him if he did kill her or did something with her, hooked up with her, that we know that he did now, that he said it could possibly be his baby. Oh my God, mind blown. This case is already going crazy. We're only 15 minutes in, y'all. Oh my God. Whoa. Let's get to playing this. I'm like oh my God, I'm invested.
His brother to explain, Quilles reportedly gets surprisingly specific.
Jonathan Quilles tells his brother that he lured her to his work in an area where no video surveillance, no other workers, it's loud, and he went to strangle her, but he couldn't stomach it.
What?
So he shot her. He then put her body in a dumpster, and then it's done. He now can move on, and his life won't be ruined.
He said that?
His brother was like, I don't believe my brother did this, but it made me feel very uneasy that if I didn't call and report it and something had happened, that it would haunt him.
Armed with this shocking new information, Detective Abbott and a colleague from Special Assault bring Quilles back in for another interview.
How are you?
Before we see that, oh yeah, he's crazy. Why would he say that? I wonder, like, hold on, y'all. I'm over here trying to write this note so I don't forget it. He said that the brother said that he called him and said that he lured her over to his work or over in that area, strangled her and put her body in the trash bin. Why would he tell him that if that's true? That's so weird. But you know, some psychopaths, they be wanting people to know, and you know, they play so normally. Y'all, this man can have like 7 different personalities. We don't know. Let's watch this interview.
I know, right?
And he's over here looking stupid. Don't even know.
At this time, Detective Billy Abbott has spoken to Joseph Quilles, and now he is looking at this closer to a homicide investigation.
The girls would come over to your house and you do like trips to the beach?
Yeah,
trips to the
we always when to go to the pool we had at the house.
They would stay the night.
Yeah, they'll spend
and there was
the whole
anybody-
summer.
So you're doing all these things with the girls,
No, with all of them.
right? With the kids.
All of the kids.
But,
Yeah.
But then they're accusing you of messing with the girls.
Correct. Yeah, and this is they came out with that. They started like real heavy with it when went with that boy across the street and doing all that. That's when it started like really thick.
Jonathan Quilles was trying to do anything and everything to show how it was not him, that it could be this other individual, or she might have had another boyfriend in her life.
So now is missing. She ran away or whatnot. Now here I am sitting in the hot seat because is mentioning me as that I'm Mr. Jose. So.
Did you know who she ran away with?
I don't. I've been expecting call me, text me, anything, Snapchat me, smoke signal.
Quilles painted himself as the victim himself. He's being unfairly tarnished by this belief he had an inappropriate relationship with his niece.
So if I were to tell you that
They
I
look at
found
those
some
messages.
underwear that had your DNA in it, how would you explain that?
I would say that is not. There's no way in shape in any form. Yeah, there's no way.
So with the case
DNA
across
don't
the
lie.
street, there was a kit done,
Correct.
and she was wearing specific clothes to include underwear.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she told me that was one of her biggest pet peeves that they took underwear from her.
Okay, so that's what he's talking about.
That's what I was referring to.
That wasn't my DNA. I didn't. No way.
It's DNA. Yeah.
I'm not saying you're a monster. I don't think you're a monster at all. Okay? I think maybe they came on to you and things went a little too far. It happens all the time.
What exactly?
Now, detectives, they do that to lure them in for them to talk, because when they act like they're on the side of the monster, because that's what he is. We're at that point now because there's too many lies and stuff after what the brother said. If it's true, it's too much that's been coming out. They do that so they can, with the person of interest, so he can get himself to talk, because he's over here acting too normal. They're saying it's not his DNA. DNA never lies. Actually, some cases, people can put DNA, but not on that area.
Are they accusing
That is
me?
crazy.
What exactly are they saying I did? Okay, well, now they're making suggestions that I'm having the sexual relationship or that I had something to do with her going missing, and I absolutely did not.
Look at her face.
I could look at her face.
They need closure.
I'm not a monster. I had nothing to do with her disappearance. I had nothing to do with her disappearance at all.
So the whole family's off. Is a liar. Your brother who loves you is just crazy. Right? Everyone's just circling Jonathan.
The last I spoke with my brother, he was all bent out of shape. And I'm like, hold on, bro. You got this all twisted. I didn't do nothing. I have no idea what the hell happened with this young lady, any of that. So.
And how did you have all those details?
That's really getting on my nerves. Let me write that down. Why is he saying, y'all, he's acting like he don't know her now. Calling her that girl, young lady. That is so weird. Y'all, I'm telling y'all, these sociopaths and psychopaths, they have different personalities. It's like he don't know her, but then he do. He didn't say her name he just said her name once. But I think she said it, but he keep on saying young lady and that girl. That's weird. I don't know. I know they said they're trying to protect the identity, but they already released her name on the poster. I saw it. But yeah, that's interesting. Weird.
I'm sorry, I don't know how he had any of those details.
Dude.
And he said he didn't believe you at first. He thought you were kidding. But it was so detailed.
No.
They have to look at the call logs.
He really is just kind of like, you know what? There's nothing I can do at this point. You've already made up your minds. You haven't looked anywhere else. I'm not the person, but you're convinced that I am.
So, Jonathan, is there anything else you'd like to say?
There's nothing else I want to say.
Okay. then at this point, I'm going to place you under arrest for sexual battery. It's a first-degree felony. If you'll stand up and turn around and face the wall, place your hands behind your back.
Now, Jonathan Quilles is the #1 suspect in the disappearance of IS and now the murder of IS and her unborn child.
Police seem to believe Jonathan Quilles is involved, but they still don't know exactly what happened to Ayanna. Coming up, a new development.
So after the interview, Detective Abbott decided that he was going to do some more investigation, and that was through a wire.
You did good by doing it. You get rid of the body and all that.
Oh, this is about to get good, y'all.
Praying, I'm praying. I haven't stopped praying. I've been praying this whole time. You have to forgive me? I can forgive you.
Jonathan Quilles is being held at the Duval County Jail on charges of sexual battery in connection with the disappearance of his niece, Ayanna Sawyer, or IS. When police interviewed Quilles, he denied any wrongdoing, but Detective Abbott has gathered some powerful evidence against him, including DNA and a confession Quilles apparently made to his own brother. Now, Abbott decides to see what else he can gather, this time from inside the jail.
Detective Abbott, through his partners and his homicide team, they were able to get into contact with some other inmates. One of the inmates then was wired up, and through the instructions that Detective Abbott and his homicide team had given this inmate was, see what Jonathan Quilles will tell you.
Just 2 days later, the detective's plan seems to pay off.
Before we even listen to this, it's so crazy, y'all. These inmates who are wired up, they talk too much. They love to talk, and they never know that they're wired up. Like the person they're talking to, they don't even know if they're wired up, and they just love to talk, and it's so crazy. Because, criminals are disgusting. They love to express and to say what happened to people who don't know, who might not be getting out of here, because they know they may not be getting out of here. It's so weird. They treat it as a trophy, and they love to talk. So the fact that it sounded like it worked, the dude who got wiretapped probably got time off his sentence, and you about to get more time.
You did good by doing it. Get rid of the body and all that. Why would they point fingers at you? Because my brother. So why did you kill her? If you didn't think she was going to jail, or you just felt like it was going to hit the fan and later on.
Yeah, just 16 months that she came off that she was pregnant. There's a possibility that was mine.
When Jonathan starts talking, he doesn't know how to stop. And
just like that, he killed her because she was pregnant.
When you saw that, where happened to her? Oh, you shot at the job and left it there overnight? This girl would have jumped out screaming anything. So what about you?
The camera system. It's like everything is blurry. Nothing is focused. And that's the thing. The cameras do work, but they suspect. In Ace people part, there's so many spots. You can throw over the gate.
I guess by you killing her, you did the right thing, because you probably would be in a worse situation than she was living.
The challenge with jailhouse snitches is that you could have some doubts, well, he's just bragging in prison because he wants to have some street cred there, but his words are his words, and when you compare that to his own brother's comments and Miss Sawyer's younger sister's words that Jose was Jonathan, now the evidence is really starting to pile up.
After Detective Abbott reviews this audio recording, the determination was, I gotta get to Ace Pickle part.
That's basically the end of it. The wiretap and stuff really works, and that's crazy. They don't ever think it's kind of like a trophy. They love to talk about it. They're not thinking they're wiretapped. This is so crazy. He killed her because she was pregnant to get rid of her. That is insane. He killed her at his job because it was loud, and it just threw her body away like it was nothing. That's insane. Wow. Instead, it's so psychopaths out there, y'all. They have a lot of different faces.
Ace Pick Apart, You Pull It, is the auto salvage yard where Jonathan Quilles works. Video surveillance from December 19th, the day Ayanna disappeared, could answer a lot of questions and confirm or deny Quilles' statements.
Aaron's video showed that Mr. Quilles left his work around the time when the niece went missing from school, so he could have left from work to go pick up Miss Sawyer, but there's no clear-cut evidence of that because he had an alternate explanation. He was leaving for work purposes. It was his lunch break. And there is no specific video that shows Mr. Quillis with Miss Sawyer around that time.
Jonathan said that he was asked to go up to Fastenal, up near the airport, to pick up some parts. If he went and picked up IS, how could he be all the way up near the airport, which is over 30 minutes away? He can't be over at Terry Parker High School picking her up.
However, authorities allege that Quillis drove to an area of the yard that had no cameras and was off limits to most employees, where he purportedly shot Ayanna. Investigators pieced together what happened next from the wiretap recording.
Got shot.
Got rid of what?
Went to the gun range the same day.
Police end up finding his signature on the sign-in sheet at the range and the gun in his closet.
He went to the gun range and shot the gun.
Alibi.
The only thing I can think of about that statement is maybe he thought some forensic evidence could show that the gun had been recently shot.
If that was Quillis's plan, it seems like it worked.
There's no blood evidence, there's no DNA, there's nothing on your gun. And it's alleged that he shot her at close range, like in the heart even. The physical evidence didn't line up with what we were expecting to see.
Investigators check every vehicle in the yard and find no trace of Ayanna.
So what police had was a theory that he shot Miss Sawyer and then dumped her body in a dumpster that was quickly removed. But there was a lack of physical evidence here.
Based on what Quillis has said, Detective Abbott follows up on the dumpster.
Detective Abbott learns on December 20th, 2018, All American Garbage picks up the container. It went to Otis Road landfill. So Detective Abbott then makes contact with the Otis Road landfill.
The sheriff's office spent over $1.5 million over 3 weeks to go through and excavate this landfill. It was almost 80 feet deep. The tons and tons of trash that was moved, even by their own account, was
I'd be scared to find something.
nature. And they found nothing over a 3-week period of time.
Yes.
They couldn't find anything that directly tied Mr. Quillis to Miss Sawyer's disappearance. They found some articles of clothing that they thought were Miss Sawyer's, but the sizes were a little different. It was some Victoria's Secret clothing, and it could have been her clothing, especially as she was carrying a baby, but it's not 100% clear to law enforcement that they've got the goods.
With no physical evidence, the question is whether the evidence investigators do have is enough to indict Jonathan Quillis in the murder of his niece and her unborn child.
You have Miss Sawyer's younger sister saying that Mr. Quillis was Jose. You also have Mr. Quillis's own brother saying that Quillis confessed to him. And you also have wiretaps now.
On July 18th, 2019, about 6 months after Ayanna Sawyer disappeared, investigators send Jonathan Quillis's case to a grand jury.
And thinking about, well, what kind of charges are we going to do? Well, ultimately, it was decided that we were going to do first-degree murder. And the reasons why we were going to do those particular charges, and also in the state of Florida, we can do that for an unborn child. So we knew there was going to be 2 counts for that.
The list of evidence the detectives present pays off.
Oh,
We met with the grand jury today.
that is just, oh my gosh, so much is happening, y'all. I was wondering if they was gonna do like manslaughter or some or accidental, I don't know. Because since they have no physical evidence, I'm wondering how they was gonna do this, but they said it paid off. I wonder what he's thinking after this. I'm like, remember when you told us that you did nothing wrong? I swear, y'all, people can easily hide their feelings. And you know, I always say psychopaths, they got a lot of different faces. Even though it's a handsome man, I don't like killers. They can easily play it off by acting so nice and normal, and you just kill somebody. So y'all, that's no.
On your case, as well as several others, and you are being indicted on first-degree murder. The 3rd count is going to be sexual battery. Okay. We need to advise you of that.
Okay.
All right.
How do you kill somebody and just like look at another human being?
I have an attorney that's representing me. She doesn't want me to talk to my
Okay.
daughter without her being present.
Considering the charges that he was facing, he had good spirits. He was pretty confident in how he spoke and very clear.
They also do that because in court, it's easy to sway a jury like that too. We all know that. We've seen cases like that.
We talked about
before.
a lot of the alternative explanations or alternative options, alternative suspects.
After the grand jury indictment, Jonathan Quilles' case doesn't go to trial for another 4 years. Yet with no significant additional evidence turning up, does the state have enough to convict?
We didn't have IS in her unborn child. In a normal case, we know where someone's murdered. There's blood, there's fingerprints, there's a bullet, there's a spent shell casing, and it's readily identifiable. This is where the person was killed. There was going to potentially be some doubt.
Have they looked in those bins? Yo, have they really looked everywhere? Because
In the murder and sexual battery of his pregnant niece, Ayanna Sawyer, whose body has never been found, and her unborn child.
If you're found guilty of any one of those charges, there is the possibility that you can spend the rest of your natural born life in prison. Do you understand that?
And the death penalty is also on the table.
The girl might be pregnant. I can't lose my family if she has the baby.
that is so crazy.
To get rid of the body. She was 16. Did you shoot her? Shoot her in the head? Heart.
Once they heard everything, that puzzle was built, that picture was painted, that they would know beyond every reasonable doubt that the defendant, Jonathan Quilles, killed his family member because he could not let the world know that he fathered an underage juvenile child.
That's sick.
The defense responds, telling the jury, not so fast.
They have to prove that Mr. Quilles is the one that committed this crime. There will be no direct evidence to say that he did. You will not hear it.
Investigating and looking through the evidence that the state had gathered,
And the hardest part about this, like they say, is physical evidence actually proving it. But I think that's so crazy. I cannot be that attorney that can represent these people because I'm all about like serving justice. I just cannot do that because it's like I feel like because even if he said it. Like he told another person, you can easily, I guess they can fight and say, well, he could be talking about in a movie or something. I don't know. It's like hard to prove. I don't know why this is hard to prove. He said it. So I don't know. But it's all about evidence. But they got DNA. I'm like, so you got him with the sexual assault, the sexual battery, sexual assault with the underage girl. But definitely murder, that's like the hardest part of like saying if he did it. We all know he did it. That's just, y'all.
glaring issue again and again was the lack of physical evidence that they had.
There will be no DNA to say he's the father. They will not be able to prove that Jonathan Quilles is in fact the father of the unborn child. They don't have a body. Therefore, we believe they cannot meet their burden of premeditated murder. And therefore, we believe there will be reasonable doubt.
The biggest challenge for prosecutors is that we're living in a time when people expect to see DNA, direct evidence via
They got
video,
DNA though.
And if you don't have a body,
only
you
that
don't
one
have a murder
part.
weapon, and your case is largely circumstantial, it's tough to convince juries that you should send this person to jail for life or even the death penalty.
The state of Florida is banking on a strong slate of witnesses, along with purported admissions of guilt made by Jonathan Quilles himself to his brother and jailhouse informants. Naomi Mobley, Ayanna's aunt and Jonathan Quilles' now ex-wife, at whose home Ayanna spent
They need
so
to
much
search the home
time,
again.
testifies. She says she was initially defensive when her sister said Jonathan was behaving inappropriately with their niece, but when her sister showed her Snapchats between the two, she changed her tune.
What if
anything that you do thereafter?
I told him at that time that he needed to stop speaking with my nieces and he needs to give my family space. I said that it looks really bad and he needs to distance himself.
Did you learn thereafter whether or not he stopped speaking in your community?
I learned after that he did in fact continue speaking with them.
So what are we looking at in state 64?
Let me see what this say. Okay, this is her. You officially have broke my heart for the very last time. I really feel all types of anger. I'm truly going to leave you. I'm truly going. You leave you be. This is so crazy. I'm very hurt and stressed out, but at the end of the day, what world I live in to think you were going to ever be mine? I officially have hated my heart for you. You'll never get my love and care back, I promise. I also think that's interesting how, how family members will try to like date your partners, even though we're not telling me that's not what this is about, but I feel like she think that was a relationship. He made her feel that way. So y'all,
These are the messages.
She was like really in love with this man.
The Snapchats from Jonathan Quillen
And this man
leading
did
up
a
to
lot.
Ayana's disappearance were sometimes sexually
Ruined his
explicit
family.
and even seemingly threatening.
9/4/2018, 9/27. I'm very aggravated right now. I'm going to hit you later. 9/7/2018, 12/21. Yeah, so I need you to be like 100% with me at all times. I'm just so in love with you. I'll kill you and cry.
There was a change
What the heck?
in his behavior.
Change in behavior. It looked like there's a change or something. I don't know, y'all. When I tell y'all, people, they look at all type of ways. They can look so so normal, and be like freaking crazy. Oh, that is so creepy. I want to study that. What makes people tick? Like, what makes people change? Like, I have a sister who studies psychology. She would be all over this case. You know what? Y'all, I need to do it. Once my sister come back for the summer, because she'll be home from college, I'm going to do some cases with her. Well, we're going to watch these and dissect them together. She'll love it because she's majoring in psychology, getting her psychology degree. She loves stuff like this. Also, I want to do it on one with my sister who do law and with crime. So y'all, oh my God, I can give y'all some good content with this stuff. And I'm just wanting to talk.
Missing. Prior to that, he was fidgety and nervous. He was restless. After she went missing, then he slept like a baby.
Quillez's brother Joseph also gives emotional testimony about his conversations with Jonathan. As evidenced by their phone records, they talked 4 times between December 18th and 20th, 2018, the time period of Ayana's disappearance. Joseph could tell his brother wasn't acting like himself.
His demeanor was a little off. It was kind of like he was nervous or a little panicky about something.
Have you heard your brother sound panicky to you on previous occasions?
No, he was more concerned about what is he going to do with the young lady in question. That she might be pregnant, and what is he going to do? He doesn't want to ruin his family and mess up what he has already going on.
In their last conversation, Jonathan Quillez seemingly finally came clean about what exactly he did on December 19th, 2018. He'd picked up Ayana from school, telling her they would run away and be together.
He had her sitting in a vehicle, waiting. He tried to strangle her. It didn't work out. He couldn't stomach it. And so then he later shot her in the chest. And then he proceeded to discard the body by transporting it into a dumpster and destroying the vehicle.
Mr. Quillez, were you surprised by what he told you?
Absolutely.
On December 20th, Joseph wrote his brother a heartfelt text, which the prosecutor reads in court.
I can't talk to you right now. I have to stay firm on my decision. What you told me isn't some joke or something you like about. So yes, I told the police because they needed to know. I'm sorry I have to do the right thing for that girl and her family, not the right thing for you and your selfishness. I hate to lose you, but I'd rather that the girl's family have some peace. If you're innocent, then you don't need to worry, and they won't find her body. But if you're not, they're going to find her. And in that case, I already lost my brother.
Prosecutors argue.
Can we go? Okay. Also, I'm pretty sure that's the defendant. Okay. Well, the person that they wiretapped. Also, geez, that's a good brother. You know what? I'm all for sticking by your family with stuff like this. Now, give that family closure. And if somebody tell you that, yeah, you tell, because that's insane. I would be shocked, and I would say something too. I'd be like, wait, what? If my family member told me that they did that, that's just so.
Jonathan Quillen
crazy, and that's
also
his
told
family.
the story to jailhouse
by
informants,
marriage.
An inmate who, ironically, Quilles met in a Bible study group.
Tell this jury what he said to you.
So, bro, he pulled his gun out and shot him.
What, if anything, did he tell you with what he did with her once he shot her?
Once he shot her, he threw her body in the dumpster.
You shot her, how you killed her? You don't mind me asking, I'm just blunt.
They regret that.
I know you don't really want to talk about it. It's all going to get rid of the body.
See, I dump garbage over at the landfill and be buried under like 3 feet of garbage.
When the inmate had testified and we played that wire, we no longer had to say, this is what Jonathan Quilles said. Believe the state of Florida. It was listen to him himself.
You could watch the jurors' reaction of Jonathan on that wire and what he said and how he said it. You could literally watch the jurors change the entire demeanor of how they felt about the case. 8 out of the 12 jurors, almost in unison, turned their heads, looked right at us, and you could just read the look on their faces like, you're done.
We, the jury, find the defendant guilty of first-degree murder as charged in the indictment. Verdict count 2. We, the jury, find the defendant guilty of first-degree murder as charged in the indictment. Verdict count 3. We, the jury, find the defendant guilty of engaging in an act that constitutes sexual battery.
If he hadn't started talking, if he hadn't done that, there was more than enough reasonable doubt if his own words hadn't walked them through it for the state.
After almost 5 years of living and breathing IS's case, getting to know IS, seeing IS's picture every day in my office, the best words ever were
But they didn't even find her body. This was so crazy. Where is
As
she?
the case reaches the penalty phase, the question the jury will deliberate next is whether Jonathan Quilles should be sentenced to life in prison
or
death.
Jonathan Quilles is now a 2-time convicted murderer. Each of you know the horrendous facts that occurred in this case. Each of you did justice when you convicted the defendant beyond a reasonable doubt of premeditated murder of IS and the premeditated murder of IS's unborn child. And we'll ask you all to render a vote of death.
State of Florida did hope that they would come back and recommend death. That's why we sought it to begin with, given the totality of the evidence in this case.
The defense had hoped for a different outcome.
We're asking you to save his life. Does he deserve it? You probably don't think so. But is there something there worth saving?
Yeah, study his brain.
There that would make you all come back and say life without the possibility of parole is appropriate. We were able to put on witnesses, his family.
So she the one who represented him.
To humanize him, really, at the end of the day, to make it so that you could understand that this is a life worth saving.
The jury is decisive once again.
We, the jury, find Jonathan Quilles should be sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole.
Basically,
it was disappointing. However,
his dad got life.
We respect the process of our system, and ultimately, we were just beyond ecstatic that they had found guilty verdicts.
When they came back for life, that was the biggest sigh of relief. I really felt like at that point, that was the best thing that we could do for him as his attorneys, was to save his life. That was a huge win for us.
Ultimately, our judge did 3 consecutive life sentences. So,
Oh, he's
state
not
of
getting out.
Florida, on behalf of IS, her unborn child, and the family, felt that justice had been served, the truth had been sought, and it had been seen and shown.
Wearing a t-shirt bearing the name of Ayana's unborn daughter, Hazel, her mom reflects on her loss.
Ayana was full of life and wanted to do so many things. She wanted to be a pediatrician. I thought about being a lawyer. To my mom, she was going to be a lawyer because she could talk her way out of almost anything. She was everything you could ask for in a daughter. We were so close. She was my first love.
It was a case that was beyond different than anything I had experienced as a prosecutor. You get to know IS through her death. You get to know her unborn child. You get to know her family. She is a part of me.
I would never hear her say, I love you. I would never receive a loving FaceTime from her while I'm at work. I thank God for the 16 years that I was able to spend with her. Until we meet again, I love you forever.
Yes, the jury found the right person accountable. However, IS is forever gone. And not only just forever gone, she's forever 16.
Oh, I like that saying. She's forever 16.
Every murder.
Oh, okay, y'all. That was a long one. But I actually like these longer cases. Actually, we got a lot of evidence. We got all the evidence. Let's talk about it, okay? Y'all, I got my notes right here, like 3 pages of notes. So, Uncle Joe. They need to stop calling him the uncle. He ain't even there. He ain't even in there by blood. He's in there by marriage. Joe Quiles. The biggest surprise of this entire case is that they never, y'all, I'm gonna take these because I feel like they like bothering with the light. The craziest part of it all is that they never found the body. What happened to the body? Those nasty landfills, I can only imagine what's in there. And didn't they say they're like 8 feet deep or something? Or like, I know it's like 80 feet long. It's a lot. But the fact that they spent like millions of dollars searching, they never found her body. That's so sad to not have, I don't know. I feel like you got justice about the whole thing that with all that, which we're going to talk about. I just think it's sad. The saddest part is that they really don't have the closure of where's her body. And even if you find like a decomposing body, there'll be some kind of evidence. I got a feeling that like, what if he threw her in a dumpster, but it went to another one? I don't know how many they got up in Florida, but let me actually look that up. Let me look it up, because I don't know if they searched all of them. I know they said they spent millions of dollars looking. Let me see how many landfills are in Florida. I'm actually curious. How many landfills? There are 75 landfills. Jeez, say 67 solid waste landfills. That's a lot. That's actually, yeah, I feel like she could still be at one of those. It's so sad not to have that closure though. But at least they got closure where, like, that he did it. So let me tell y'all my initial thoughts. Okay, I'm like, of course he did it. I feel like he did it. Well, I saw Uncle in the title, but I'm like, you never know. Because when they brought up the neighbor, like, being, getting arrested for hooking up with her, I thought he would have something to do with this. Then when they brought up the brother, I'm like, okay, this is about to get all types of crazy. But no, it was him. You know, I keep saying it, psychopaths and sociopaths, I don't know what would he be? Probably none. He just looked like so first of all, let's say he got charged with two counts of first-degree murder, and I actually missed the last one. I think it was like some of sexual misconduct, or because she was underage, so he got like 3 life sentences. He's not getting out. He did all of this. What he did to her, he tried to strangle her in the car. It didn't work, so he shot her through her body over there, dumped her body. He did all this just so it wouldn't get out that he slept with an underage girl and got her pregnant. Oh my God, that's crazy. But y'all, okay, the wiretapping. It's actually interesting how many criminals don't know that they're being tapped, and then they just spill it all. But I'm happy that worked. You see how he said the jurors, like, their face changed when they brought that up. They was probably not even thinking it the lack of physical evidence that really helped because the lack of physical evidence they had. But I'm like, they had DNA, so they got him with the sexual part, but it was like the murder. But he was just talking, but it's so crazy because he was acting so normal before, and the fact that he acted so calm through this whole thing says a lot. I'm just like, he knew. I just think I keep on saying sociopath, psychopath, but you know, I think anybody who kills is like a psychopath, because I'm like, you could do that and then go back home and act normal. But the wife did say he was a little off after that, but she said he was sleeping like a baby. But I'm like, anybody who can do that and go back to your normal life is a psychopath. That's just what it is, because that's not a normal thing to do, to take a life and then to go back and act like everything's okay. I just don't understand that. And kudos to the brother, okay? Kudos to the brother, because the fact that he had a feeling something went wrong or something might have happened and he went straight to the police. There you go. And oh my God, I wouldn't even, yeah, some on my lip. I wouldn't even know. So let me show y'all. I was just writing notes. I was like, okay. So we had Naomi Q, that's the wife of Uncle John. Don't know why I'm saying Joe, John. His name is John Kills. I don't care about his name, but that's his name, okay? But I kept thinking it was weird that he kept kept calling her that girl. He kept on saying, like, I didn't do nothing to that girl. Then he said, I didn't know what happened to that young lady. That's supposed to be your family. He didn't even want to say her name. That's how you knew something was wrong. But he tried to play it out cool, and it didn't work. Y'all saw in the interrogation, he was acting so normal, so friendly, willingly gave his DNA, knowing that they probably wouldn't find anything, but they found something. But the fact that they didn't find her body is the biggest shock of this all. I'm like, but the fact there's a lot of landfills, that's a lot to search. And to dump somebody's body just so gruesomely, and you know, they don't check at those landfills, they just dump it. That's so, oh my God. But my gut is telling me that he, like, after he killed her, he put her in like some type of bin or a bag or something and dumped it, because I feel like she's in something. The first thing that come to mind is for some reason Lovely Bones, how he put her in that safe, but at the same time he did this with like so quick, so it had to be quick in like a bag or something. But that's also a lot of weight. Oh my God, I don't know. This is really shocking. It's so heartbreaking. She was so young, and just because you got her pregnant, yeah, your life would have been done. You would have been going to jail anyway, but you took hers from her, and that's unthinkable. He knew it was over in court. He was trying to act all normal. They try to act so polite because they think they can sway the jurors, and they can act so polite the whole time, but he knew you could tell he knew he did it, like he was wrong. For some reason, I actually think he got empathy in it, but like, no. But no, the way he did it says it all. He just had no remorse. I'm like, bro, you went back home sleeping good, and you killed this girl. You know, he said in the wiretap, he said he did all of this, did it like left at work, did it at work at the back, like, you know, with the cameras, because they have. Didn't he say, and I quote, shitty cameras, so they didn't catch anything. That's exactly what happened. They didn't catch anything. It literally worked. Him doing all this so they wouldn't find the body worked. Oh, because if they found that body, it would have been over. His DNA's probably all over her. That is crazy that they did not find that. And then I think another shocking part of this all is that he had the gun. The whole thing with the gun. He shot her, and this whole thing worked. He shot her, went to the gun range, and then shot it because he would have an alibi that he just pulled it, like that he just shot it. That is so crazy. I'm not even saying that's smart, but I've never seen that in the case. I think that's the first time I heard somebody doing that in the case, because it really could say that you have that worked. They couldn't use the gun. They couldn't use the gun at all. They knew he had it hidden in his, like they found it in the house, but it actually worked to his advantage. They did not find it. That's actually smart. But yeah, we don't do that, but that actually worked. That's crazy. That was probably the biggest turnaround. I was like, so they couldn't use the gun. They had like no evidence but the DNA. So that's actually insane. But yeah, the brother really did. I think him saying that, it shows you that he's not crazy, because the wiretapping the dudes, the John and the brother Joseph. Okay. Everything Joseph said was true. He said it in the wiretap, and that's just so crazy. I'm like, bro, you proved him right, and they tried to say he was crazy. I'm over here looking at my notes, y'all. Yeah, they had lack of evidence. That's just the whole thing with the evidence. But, you know, I had a feeling they weren't going to give him death. I'm like, I don't know. I feel like if they had her body, I feel like they could have went with death. I don't know. I still cannot be those people that represent the guilty, because I'm just like, it was annoying hearing it that they tried to spare his life, but I'm like, that's their job. But I'm like, why? I don't like that, because I don't like anybody who murder out of like no disgusting reasons like this. I'm like, you take a life and now you want somebody to spare your life. You don't deserve to be alive. So that's just my thought. I don't think anybody who take a life like that should be spared a life. I do not. I believe they all should be gone. They're crazy in the head unless it was self-defense. Okay, you need to get out of here. But yeah, y'all, this was the crazy one. I like doing these because I had a lot of thoughts in this. My thoughts was right. He did it. At first I thought it was going to be like, I thought the neighbor was going to come up again, y'all. But yeah, this was a crazy one. But thank God, the wiretapping helped, and the brother testimony helped. It all helped. I mean, we happy we got closure, but it's still not fully closure. Like I said, they don't have the body. That's just, the fact that they even got 3 life sentences, they was able to do all this with like the lack of evidence they had, it says it all. Ooh, y'all, oh my God. I hope they find her one day. I hope they find something. But it's been so long, she would be bones. And that's even harder now. But I wonder if they probably, it's a closed case. So, but I wonder if they're going to ever find her. That's just so sad. So yeah. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. I might do more of these long cases. I actually like them because I'm getting really into them, like learning deep. The deep dives are really cool. It's like really, you get more of a I don't know, more of a connection actually watching the stories. And I always watch, like I watch them anyway, but on camera it's like different because I'm giving my opinion, and I actually really like it. And I think people really do like the crimes and stuff I'm talking about on here, and we need to be raising awareness for the crime. I think I'm gonna do more of like the black crimes, because you know, it just be a lot of cases you never hear about. And Law and Crime Network is a good one, y'all. I'm gonna leave a link in the description to the original video. They do these deep dives. Oh my God, I love this channel. So I will let you guys go. I will see you guys in the next reaction or video. Who knows? Bye.